This video is a weekly update feature that we, the officers of Loreseekers, host each week for our members. If you're watching this video and you're not yet a member of Loreseekers, you can head on over to our website loreseekers.wowstead.com. There you'll find some information about who we are and what we do. You're also free to contact us in-game. Just do a quick /who Loreseekers and whisper any one of our members. They will put you in touch with any of the officers currently online at that time. Hey there guys, this is Simon, aka Daycona, aka Formerly, here bringing you the next weekly recap for the Loreseekers. Last week was a very nice week. We had a lot of people online at most of the events and we got a lot of things done. So let's take it from the top. First of all, our old school raid night, we set out to clear Ulduar and try and get as many achievements as possible to get everyone the rusted proto-drake. But due to a slip up in communication, we ended up missing out on one achievement, but that's our bad guys, don't worry about it, and we'll make sure to get that achievement this week. Right, that brings us right to our second event this week, which was our raid night. And again, the destination was Bastion of Twilight, with the hopes of bringing a full guild group. Sadly, we didn't have enough members to make all of the 10 slots a guildie. However, we did get enough members to make it count as a guild group. That means we had 8 members online. So we ended up bringing 2 puggies and managed to clear everything again. Overall, I'd say it was a pretty smooth run. The only boss that keeps giving us problems is the Ascendant Council, but next time we'll just make sure to set up a bit more properly, discuss who will be doing what, and I think it should be a smooth fight as well. And of course, we also need to make sure that we do explain the tactics for anyone who didn't know it. That's another slip up in communication. Again, that's our fault, not your guys. So we're sorry about that, and we're going to fix it for next week's raid, or I should say this week's raid. Now, the last event is of course the roleplay night, and we finally gathered enough members to safely guard the caravan down to Stranglethorn. So we all gathered in Ironforge first, everyone except Fen, that is, because I sent her on ahead to make sure everything was ready. And once we had sorted out some of the newcomers, we took the tram down to Stormwind, and from there we rode our mounts all the way to Eastvale logging camp where we met up with Fen. Once we made sure we had everything sorted out, we set out to Stranglethorn, taking the road through the 3 corners, heading down south through Darkshire, and in the end making it across the border into Stranglethorn Vale. The trip itself was rather uneventful. We took a brief stop at Natanya's house down in just south of Darkshire, so thank you Natanya for offering us a bit of a rest right there. And it was pretty much all about getting down there. So yeah, not a lot much more to say. So let's move on to this week's event, shall we? Now, our old school raid night, we are going to finish up the last achievement that we missed in Ulduar, just so we can get everyone their proto-drakes. And of course, after we've gotten that done, we're gonna do the mandatory screenshots with everyone on their proto-drake. And after that, I was thinking we'd pay Arthas a visit. So that's right, we're going to raid Icecrown Citadel. And if we have time for it, and everyone's up for it, we might as well go for a Sotharian 3 drakes, just to get another person that mount. Right, that about does it for the weekly old school raid, which of course brings us to our raid night. Now this week we're not going to do Bastion of Twilight. Instead, we're going to move on to Blackwing Descent. So this means we'll need everyone to read up on the different tactics for the boss. We'll need you to be prepared so that we can just do a brief recap of the tactics instead of explaining them outright to everyone. We might just end up doing that anyways, but please guys, try and come prepared. And I think we can be optimistic and say go ahead and read up on the tactics for all bosses. In case we end up getting stuck at someone, we might just go ahead and do Bastion of Twilight and give it another shot next week. But in the end, we're hoping to clear Blackwing Descent and get as much practice in there as possible. We have been recruiting a couple of new members this week, so we might actually be able to get a full guild group this time, which would be great because I don't know about you guys, but I just hate seeing loot going to puggies. Even though the last ones we brought did definitely do their part and they were definitely contributing, so to speak. But every loot that goes to a puggy is a loot that could have gone to a guildie. That's the way I see it. Right, so in order to help you guys prepare for Blackwing Descent, I'm going to go ahead and link you in the annotations below here the different tank spot guides that I know about and I think is helpful. If you guys have any tips for another site that does guides like this, it doesn't necessarily have to be YouTube guides, but if you know of any site you would like to recommend, just either whisper me in-game or leave a thread on the forum and I'll make sure to check it out and I'll possibly link your suggestion in the future. But for now, here's the annotations for the different tank spot videos. So make sure to give them a good look, and if there's any questions, we'll go ahead and do them over Ventrilo in the raid when we get there. Right, so that brings us to the roleplay week for roleplay event for next week, which is going to be a camp life event down in Stranglethorn. Basically, everyone gets to enjoy a bit of camp life with their guildies, and we're going to end the night with a bit of storytelling around the campfire, just to have it a bit of a social event this time. And of course, you are always free to go down there and RP with your guildies at any time during the week. You don't have to wait for the events. Just do it the normal way, just ask in the guild chat if anyone's up for it, and you can meet up down in Stranglethorn. In character wise, everyone should be around the camp right now. So if you plan on doing RP with one of the characters that attended the event last week, you should probably be down in Stranglethorn. Right, so some other news that I guess we could go ahead and talk about is we are currently getting a lot of true gold from all of our alchemists. A big thank you to everyone who's donated their true gold cooldown. It's definitely helping. We now have enough true gold to get at least 3 more members their epic weapons. The only thing we're missing right now are the Chaos Orbs, which of course you can only get from the last boss in Heroics so far, and since it's really ineffective for me to run them by myself, I'm probably going to wait for you guys to get online so we can do a full guild group, and that way we can both get to know each other a bit more in the PvE environment, and we of course get to gear some of our lower geared members, and in the end everyone can go ahead and pass the Chaos Orbs to me, and that way we can guarantee that the Chaos Orb goes towards getting another member their epic weapon. Just in case you guys were wondering how we determine who gets the next weapon crafted for them, we have currently been getting the tanks equipped, and we're now moving our way through the healers. Once we made sure that all of our healers and all of our tanks have got their item crafted, we're going to move on to the DPS. And the way we're going to do it is, in a way, a hidden DKP system. We're going to start with the guys who've been with us the longest, just to show you guys we definitely do appreciate it. But in the end, we're definitely trying to get everyone their weapon as soon as possible. That about does it for this week's weekly recap. I'm sorry it was a bit late this time, guys. I'll try and get the other one out on the regular time. That would be sometime during Mondays. But today you got it on a Tuesday. I hope you can live with that, and I'll see you guys in game.